call the meeting together for June 10th, 2020. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll keep in our prayers all those still dealing with COVID. Well, I was going to welcome our new treasurer, but she's not here. So we'll start with roll call attendance, please.
Tom?
Here.
Sue? Here. Mary Agnes?
Here.
Sherry? Here.
Okay. Lynn is excused, absent. Okay, let's take a look at the agenda. I have a couple of items to add, if I can find them. Under new business, we're going to set the workshop and public hearing to approve the budget for the year ending 3/31. And we can do it either 30 minutes prior to our regular meeting on July 8th, or we can set up a separate date, a standalone special meeting on either Wednesday, July 1st, Thursday, July 2nd, Wednesday, July 15th at 7 p.m. But we can discuss that then. And we also will be adding, I'm requesting approval of appointing of a new board member for our planning commission. All right. Do we have anybody else that wants to add anything else to the meeting agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented with the additions. I'll so move. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to approve and on the minutes or the agenda with the additions. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please.
Sue? Yes. Tom?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. All right, the first item on the consent agenda are the minutes for the special meeting we held Friday, May 1st. That was accepting the letter of former treasurer Kathleen Shue. The regular meeting on Wednesday, May 13th, and the special meeting held on May 15th to appoint a new treasurer, Marilyn DeLuigi. Number 2 is approval of the clerk's reports. Revenue and expenditure reports, periods beginning May 1st and ending May 31st. That's 25 pages. We also have the approval of the paychecks from May 1st to May 31st, a total gross amount of $22,590.07. The approval of accounts payable, $281.18. That are open to be paid May 1st through May 31st, and then the $167,568.04 that are already paid. There were 28 checks, including one void, and they ran check numbers 20432 through 20459. Then we have the correspondence, the Marine City Area Fire Department Authority reports for May. We also have Ira Township's Fire Department runs for Cottrellville for the month of May. And we also have a copy of the Fifth Third credit card account for April and May for a total of $578.85. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented? Go ahead. I'll so move.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye. By roll call vote, please.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
And Lynn is absent. Motion carried. All right, the next one is open session. Since we only have a couple of residents in the audience, is there anything you would like to say, Mr. Barnes, or no? You're all set? Okay, very good. Open session.
What time is it?
Do you want me to present about the new business items now, or do you want to discuss those
when we get to them?
come up? Okay.
What time is it?
I don't know. 7:36, open and closed.
Okay.
We have no unfinished business. Now we have new business. Okay, we have the approval of COVID-19 Resolution 2020-03 for preparedness and response plan containing 13 pages. That's in your package under F1. Has everyone had a chance to go through that? I hope so, because I don't want to read it out loud.
No, it's too much.
Does anybody have any questions or suggestions or anything that they want to change on it?
Well, everything is changing so quickly that it's almost obsolete by the time
Well,
it comes to us, so.
that's what I kind of explained to Nicole, and she questioned it about it this afternoon or this morning. I have to write these up as soon as I get the information from the state, and as soon as they give us, they want backup. So I've been putting these together every day within 24 hours. So this first one was, like I say, it's just, I just need to know whether it's more essential workers than anything else necessary to perform critical infrastructures, functions, and/or conduct minimum business basic operations. That means keep the sewer bills going, the water bills going, the water and sewer working, the trash pickup, all that stuff's got to continue to go.
Have any of the other halls opened? We're just,
The other halls, yes.
oh, have they?
Yeah, I think China opened up last 2 weeks ago, didn't it?
Algonac opens Monday.
Do they?
And we opened Monday
Yeah.
officially.
Because if we had a place like in the foyer where they can stand, and then each take turns going to, one
We're not
side or
going to only
the
have
other.
one person in the building at a time. They have to wait outside,
Really?
because we have to immediately clean the spot that they were in. If they only stay in the lobby, then all we have to do is clean the chair and the table that they sat in and anything they touched. If there's two people in here, like if I'm interviewing somebody in here and Bill's taking care of somebody out there, then I've got to clean the spot here where we discussed if they sit at the table or if they sit at this little bench or, so.
So people will come in this room to?
Mostly there, but if there's two of us interviewing people at
Okay.
the same time, then this is where I'll bring
Okay.
or if the clerk brings somebody in or the treasurer brings
That's a
somebody in.
good idea, yeah.
I just
Okay.
had a couple of things. On the first page, under sick leave, it mentions Cottrellville Township personnel policy. Do we have one of those?
I believe we do somewhere, yes. I think it was done about 15 years ago. I don't know if it's ever been updated.
I've never seen one. On page 2, on the enhanced cleaning and disinfecting, it mentions about us cleaning our own workstations and everything, but nothing about extra cleaning of the lobby or the boardroom. I know Kathy still just cleans every other week, so was there anything in there for the common areas?
Well, I can tell you that the people that I called to find out what it would cost to do this building ranged anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. And they said the minute that somebody walks through that door that's different, your stuff is closed. So if I'm not going to spend that kind of money on the township.
Right.
Because we just don't have it.
Spends it or not, somebody still has to do it in order to be.
All we have to do
CDC
is wipe doorknobs and whatever they touched. And if you meet somebody in the main room, then it's going to be your obligation to wipe it down. If I meet somebody, I'll do it.
Okay.
If
That
Bill-
can just be put in here then?
Well, this one is obsolete already. I mean, the most important stuff is current, so, but that was when that was going on, and we're not having anybody come in the building unless they have an appointment, and they gotta give us a time that they're gonna be here, and then we'll manage it that way.
So do we have wipes as you come in
Yeah,
the door?
everyone has wipes.
But as you come in the door?
No,
like-
we're not letting anybody touch on any of our stuff, no.
No, but we have spray.
Okay,
I mean, wipes is,
yeah.
I have not been able to find wipes at the store anywhere.
I know. I took baby ones and I dumped alcohol in
I
them.
mean, I
couldn't
found
find anything.
wet ones
Yeah,
wipes, but,
right.
you know, they're not as wet as Lysol or Clorox wipes to like wipe down
Right.
several things.
Yeah.
Wet ones get your hands and maybe the area right there.
Yeah, I know. You can't find anything like that.
Anything else? Anything else?
No, the cleaning was the main thing I was wondering about.
Okay, well, I think we can get by with that. Does there anyone else have any questions on this? Can we accept this one so we can place it on file?
It's going to reflect in the minutes to Nicole that we talked about it, if you interview somebody, you're expected to clean up, do a quick wipe down.
Yeah.
Whoever interviews somebody, so it's not in here, but it's on our
Right.
meeting minutes, so.
Very good, Tom. All right, do you want to make a motion to the effect that you're accepting 2020-03 as a COVID-19 resolution?
Sure.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Tom, supported by Sherry, to accept this COVID-19 resolution dated May 14th, 2020-03. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please.
Sue,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes. Lynn's absent.
Lynn is absent. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is number 2, F2, approval of COVID-19 resolution number 2020-04. It's another preparedness and response plan, and that one was prepared also by the MTA, and I plugged in the names and numbers to protect the innocent. That's 11 pages long. I hope we don't need to read that one, too. Anyone have any questions on that?
So,
I'm not sure why we have two.
yeah,
Well, because one was written on one date, and this one is dated June 1st. As stuff changes, we had to adopt it. We didn't hold a meeting to adopt everything that had to come down, because we don't have that kind of time. So,
So which one supersedes the other then? And this
well,
is-
one is essential, and this is for, this was the one that was offered by the Michigan Township Association, and I put that in also. It's similar stuff.
Shouldn't we just have one that we go by?
Well, we're adopting them as they gave them to us to be adopted. One is dated the 14th, and the other one is dated the 1st of June.
If something's enhanced in the second one, we'll go with that one.
Okay, do we have
Go
them?
by the dates, I mean,
Yeah, I don't
it's,
see a date on this, the first one that was just,
Isn't it on the cover sheet?
no. There's no date on it.
Okay.
May 14th, 2020.
Yeah, the first one though.
It is-
This
Well,
one.
that is the first one.
This one is the first one.
Yeah, but do you see the cover
Oh.
sheet?
Cover sheet,
You don't have a
She
cover
doesn't
sheet?
have the
you
cover
don't have the
sheet.
cover sheet on it.
You know, when I
Ours
made copies, I gave them the resolution, I mean,
Okay, there's the cover sheet.
plan.
I'll give it to you when we're
And
done.
it's the one that's gonna be signed too, so.
Yeah.
So this one,
Yeah,
June, or?
May
did you say
May 14th,
May 14th.
First one's May 14th.
yeah.
And this cover page for the one that we're discussing right now is dated June 1st. And you don't have a cover for that one either, I assume.
Well, this one says May 15th on it.
I know, but the date that this was put together was June 1st. You have to keep them as they come to us.
But she's saying, but it says May 15th. at the
Yeah, it
top.
says May 15th on it, so I'm really confused.
Okay, well,
One says May 14th on the cover sheet, and one says May 15th. But down the next paragraph, they both say June 10th.
okay, well,
That's fine.
everything that it's referring to on the bottom of this one from the MTA gives us the executive order that corresponds with the section in the paragraph that it covers. So that's kind of that was a more thorough one that they wanted to do, so. Anywho, do we have an offer of a motion to accept COVID-19 resolution number 2020-04? I will so move. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by me and a second by Sherry for adoption of this. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please.
Tom,
Yes.
Sue,
yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes. Lynn's
Lynn
absent.
Okay. Okay. Now, what's our next one here? Okay, this is number 2020-05. It's COVID resolution number 2020-05. It's to return to work plan. It was prepared by the MTA, and I plugged in the names and numbers and completed that. This one's dated June 10th. And it pretty well tells you that because of the no public meetings, we're still under a mandate until June 1st. But it was written then, so that it will be approved this evening if it goes through. And we're trying to still keep the planning on keeping the public at a distance, which includes in-person meetings, which will be appointed only in the lobby only, and will be required a mask and pre-screening for COVID-19. And there's a plexiglass shield that will be hung over the ceiling with a foam roll at the bottom for customers inquiring at the current sliding glass windows for protection of both the deputy and the customer. Whereas we will continue to encourage the use of the drop box by paying bills of tax bills, water bills, building permit inquiries, mechanical and plumbing permit applications and payments and issuance to contractors and homeowners. Cash payments will continue to be discouraged but allowed only because we are required by law to accept currency and silver coins. If the cash payment is in an envelope and overpays the invoice, then the overage will be credited on the subject account. No one will be paying any kind of application fee, invoice, or permit fee at the treasurer's window inside of the office building until further notice. Whereas there's only one person to handle each job, and each job works in her office or in their office at least 6 feet away. Anyone who may share an office with another, masks and either gloves or hand sanitizer and frequent hand washing will be the plan until further notice. Whereas trustee Susan Discorner at last month's meeting brought to the attention of the board and our constituents that our revenue sharing that we normally receive every 2 months will be somewhat depleted due to the COVID-19 for the next 1 or 2 payments. And they are 2-month payments. Each payment is usually approximately $50,000 plus. County treasurer advised both our previous treasurer and our deputy treasurer during a conference call that for the next couple of payments to expect half the revenue of approximately $25,000 in an effort to help reduce the proposed budget for the current fiscal year. And with the COVID-19 reduction of hours worked by our previous treasurer, we propose to complete this term for the new treasurer with and we have a change here, it should be $3,000. And a savings of approximately $375 per week or $9,750 for the next 6 months. Prior to the election, we will look again at the adjusted gross of $12,000 per year for a fair treasurer's wage from then on. Whereas since our new treasurer, Marilyn Jalugi, was appointed and has agreed in writing to work a new adjusted salary of $6,000, we're going to have to switch it to $3,000, for the balance of the term starting May 26th through November 20th, agreeing to work 2 days out of 4 and 2 hours per day to oversee the appointed deputy treasurer Nicole Hart's work. That with the savings of sharing the office hour with 2 days for Marilyn, 2 days for Nicole, plus any time she, the deputy treasurer, needs to balance out at the end of every other day. This arrangement will save us wages on time and a little or no money for water bills or taxes that are collected, and gives Deputy Hart unpaid days off. Should the treasurer require the need to have the deputy treasurer during office hours at the same time as herself, such as to roll delinquent water bills over to winter taxes, unpaid assessments, unpaid building permits, electrical, plumbing, heating, plumbing and mechanical permits, setting up summer and or winter tax bills for the printer, it would be the call of the treasurer to request her deputy's assistance to help with those particular projects. Whereas there is no physical face-to-face contact by the deputy treasurer with customers except that is dropped off out into the outside drop box, the deputy treasurer can work the other 2 days per week that the treasurer selected not to work that week, and then that may vary from week to week. Both the treasurer and the deputy treasurer will advise the clerk and or the supervisor what days and hours that they'll be available to work. The deputy treasurer will balance the money received and see that no more than 1 deposit per week will be made at the bank unless dropped off at the request of or provided by the treasurer. Now that means that she'll be able to work whatever the treasurer deems possible. If she has to have her here all 4 days, then she will be here all 4 days. Right now, all I know is that on Monday, Lynn would like to have her here all day, so that gives her 8 hours. Then she can pick another day that Lynn doesn't want to work, that she does want to work. And then whatever it takes to produce the items that were listed, the assessments, the setting up of tax bills, the, anything that is to be done by the treasurer's office. So that when there's no money to be collected, then Lynn can pretty much handle what has to be handled. But if there's money to be balanced out and stuff, that is not gonna be Lynn's job, it's going to be your job. Okay, does everybody understand that? She was under the impression that she's only gonna work 2 days a week, and that's not what that says.
Pretty much it does.
Yeah,
No, it
that's
doesn't.
how I took it.
Well, I showed several people, and I told them to explain to me what I said. So, and they agree that that sentence there where it says, should the treasurer require the need to have the deputy treasurer during office hours at the same time that she herself is there, such as to roll delinquent water bills over to winter taxes or unpaid assessments, unpaid building permits, electrical, mechanical, or plumbing permits, etc., setting up summer or winter tax bills for the printer, it will be the call of the treasurer to request her deputy's assistance to help with those particular projects.
Want me to say what I want to say?
If you want. Does everyone understand that up here first, before we go any further?
Not completely, and I tried to get some information from Lynn, but she was at the hospital, and
Yeah, she was kind of
she
busy.
couldn't, and she had questions herself too. She wasn't exactly sure how it was, because she's looking for a copy of the budget, I guess. Reducing the treasurer's wages itself, and we're coming into another year. I think it's a bad time to reduce wages, and number one, we had a board that approved this and talked through it. You know, it should be, I think we should have a board review what the treasurer does, and if we're only gonna be offering $12,000 for what was $28,000. am I correct? 25,000. We're gonna have a hard time getting anybody to run for the job. And it's probably too late for somebody to run for it now unless they're, what are we gonna do for a treasurer? Do we have anybody running for that spot?
Not yet, but
Is it only, well, you were on the compensation commission. Are they the only ones that can set a wage?
no, we dissolved it.
Well, you dissolved them, yeah, but to change it again, it would
I think it
seem
was
so.
just a recommendation by the compensation board, but
Yeah,
Yeah, the township board.
but now I
makes sense.
can't see where the board can just say, well, you get less, but you keep on getting the same amount. It should be all the way across for everybody, or nobody.
Okay, well,
You shouldn't be zeroing in on one side of the room and not the other.
okay, well, it's obvious that we've done pretty good for 3.5 months without a treasurer.
Because
Okay,
I was
she's,
doing the work.
yes,
Yeah,
you're
she's
the
been
work,
doing
and
the
you've been
work.
paid for
I
it.
want to only have you work 2 days.
No, I
When-
didn't say
when
that.
it's
That
only
isn't
gonna
what
be
that
working
says.
4 hours.
Nicole, that isn't what that says.
Well, and then it's, okay, I'm just gonna say my piece here.
All right,
How this is presented as a return to work resolution, there's many issues because there's no mention to the rest of the office if this is considered a return to work. You put this other information in here about the treasurer's office, disguising it as a return to work when you're trying to reduce the wages. And does anybody on this board have experience working in the treasurer's office or as a deputy?
I do.
You were a deputy or a deputy treasurer?
I was a deputy treasurer,
And how many years ago?
about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. No, 8 years ago,
I have to say, I don't think.
8 years ago.
Okay, well,
I think I've worked in every office in this building.
I mean, to know what all goes on and what it takes, what's all involved, besides Lynn, because she's worked in that before. And even if you were a treasurer before, when you come into a new office, it doesn't run the same, especially, you know, she worked in Mount Clemens, that's a huge office. She had her deputies and other, you know, doing a lot of the work. It takes a while to get acclimated. And when she's only working 4 hours, yes, she's been coming in here and there, but, I mean, who knows what's gonna happen, you know, again, with the health issue thing. So, how is she going to oversee what I do when we're not even working the same hours, when we're still trying to acclimate in the office. She doesn't know all the stuff that I do. And how are we going to work that out when we're not even working together?
If she wants you to work with her, she will. But if she was trying to work with us.
And why should I have to wait every day to say, oh, do you want me to work? Should I work this day? Do you want me to come in the 1 hour since you come in at 10?
No, she's
when
not
we're
gonna.
open at
no.
9?
I explained that to you earlier. That wasn't the way it was gonna work.
Well, it's still written that way. I mean, on a good day, I think we can all agree, no one can sufficiently get their work done in just the 17 hours that we're open as it is. I mean, we all work hard. I've worked hard, and I have filled in the gaps when and wherever is needed. The bank recs are already behind. If you cut hours for Lynn to 4 and mine to possibly 2 days, meaning 6 or 11 hours, depending on the day, how do you expect to have everything done and done correctly? I mean, do you want to get by with a minimum and pay more for the audit that we worked so hard to save? Kathy, Sherry, and I have worked to do all this, to save over $5,000. I've recovered and fixed a lot of things that have more than paid for my salary for all 3.5 years that I've been here. And now you're just like, oh, whatever, work 2 days. That's
I
what it
didn't
looks
say
like.
that. Well, it's not what it means, but
And the treasurer's office is one of your main checks and balances for the GL. It took 3 years to get balanced and maintained, and now we're getting behind again. So, do you want to go back to that same situation? I mean, I don't really think so. You're basically devaluing or belittling the work that is done in the treasurer's office. And if you're gonna make cuts, you should make them everywhere. That's what I have to say about that.
all right, thank you for your words. So what do we want to do?
I don't want to do this. This is ridiculous.
Okay,
If we want to do it, we have to do it fairly.
okay, well, we can't cut any more out of anybody else. We already know we can survive the treasurer's office without a treasurer for that length of time.
You
She's
could
been picking
reduce-
up the difference, and she's well paid for it.
You could reduce wages. A lot of places have. They've taken a 10% or a 15% or a 20%
Okay, well,
cut.
make your motion.
I make a
Sherry was
motion.
without a deputy for 6 months.
I know,
Yeah,
but we all helped.
Okay, same thing that I did, so.
Yeah, but you were compensated for yours. When I was helping her, I don't get paid extra for that.
I was helping her too,
I know, but you're right on the payroll.
so are you?
No, I'm on the payroll for so many hours a month. I didn't have to help her, but I did. I help anybody. I've helped the building department.
Just because you're salary and I'm hourly doesn't mean that you work more or you work more or anybody else works more.
Whatever
we all
you
work
work,
hard. We all
Nicole,
work
whatever
hard.
you work, you get paid for.
but I think that we should all agree on like a percentage, either 10 or 15 or whatever.
Make
But
your
we
motion.
should. Well, I can't make it if we don't know what we would want to.
Well, you're making a motion, make what you want to see happen.
Well, I would like to see at least 10% cut salaried and hourly across the board.
Okay, do we have a second for that?
I just say, I don't understand. I was hoping to get some more perspective on it through Lynn. That didn't happen. I can't vote on something I don't understand, so I'm just gonna abstain or vote no either way. I need to know more before I can change things. I mean,
Okay,
Nicole,
well-
you do a lot of work. Everyone voted for the extra jobs you were doing, and you had a good understanding of it. Lynn's a very good person,
Right,
and she's still trying to get acclimated, and
right.
it's
I
how
mean,
to get to
It's a
know.
process, it takes time.
Yeah. And she didn't say nothing against or for. She just told me what her thoughts were, the little bit of time she had. And with my brother going in the hospital, and they've been together almost 20 years now, so all her energy and thoughts are there right now.
Right, understand.
So, and I see where you're saying it is written where it looks like you're 2 days. I mean, it needs some fine tuning on the way it's written. But I wouldn't vote for this tonight, no.
Okay, well, I'm not asking you to vote for it,
So
I'm
I'm
asking you to
making a
vote for her. Are
motion.
you gonna support her motion to cut everybody 10%?
That needs to be, I don't even know what the 10%'s gonna do. Is it gonna take care of what we need to do?
Well, we don't know how
We
much
don't
we're
know.
gonna, we don't know how much we're gonna
This
need.
revenue sharing outlook is not as bad as the half that, I mean, you can see the change is 6,804 for 2019-20.
We don't even know, yeah, like you're saying, Nicole, we don't know exactly what we're gonna lose yet either.
Right, right. Well, this is straight from the revenue sharing. They're estimating based on what's, happening, but they said if, the economy does continue to go down, it will go down more. But as of right now, they're saying 6,804, and then for 20 into 21, 14,216. So for this year, 6,800 is what they're estimating. And that's on the long chart that has the red on the side.
So we can just wait another month and go along as it is and see what happens and address it next month, but if it,
Okay, well, let me get
Goes
rid of this
down.
then first. We have no support for your motion to die for lack of support. All right, now what is your next motion? You wanna
Oh,
wait till next month?
no, I really don't want to wait till next month,
Oh, I
but
thought that's what I heard
I
you
think we're
say.
going to have to do something. Somebody should come up with something besides cutting one side of the township hall's wages and not the other.
Okay, well, when they can't get the work done, even on the clerk's side, because they actually need a third girl, why would you, when this one can do anything you set her to do, she can take care of it, she's taken care of it for 3 months, 3.5 months, and she's been paid for every hour she sits here.
Well, I don't think she said she's working for nothing, but if she went for all those months without a deputy, now why does she need a third girl?
Well, because there's 3 elections this year.
Okay,
That's just right now. I
Well,
mean,
look at it
I've
again
helped Sherry
in
with
next year.
elections in the past.
Yep, and you were compensated for it.
And the other girl that's working with chair, she gets
Yeah.
compensated for it too, so that's,
Yeah.
everybody gets paid for
Everybody gets paid.
elections,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's not,
Well,
Oh,
why don't we
that's how you
wait then
think.
till Lynn is here?
But if she needed help up to the election, I'm not just saying on election day, I'm here too. That's part of my job to help, so.
And she is here under contract, because we do have a contract with Nicole, and she does have different job duties here. So she's here to do many things, and she does.
Yep, and for every hour she's here, she's paid.
Most people are.
Yep, most people are, but there's a
So-
lot of us that
so-
give a little
Well,
bit too.
salaried people aren't.
Yeah. But
That's what Mary Agnes was trying to get across.
I know, she's said it quite a few times.
Well, you're not hearing me.
Yes, I am hearing you.
So every minute that you do something for the township, you get compensated for. Is that what you're saying? That-
No.
And nobody should, that we took a salary and we're supposed to be happy with it, right?
You took a salary.
Exactly. And she took an hourly rate and she should be happy with hers too. And if we have to give her more work and she's paid by the hour, I mean, as long as it stays under 40, because we don't pay time and a half, why would that be a problem? She does a good job every time she works. She's terrific.
So why not just leave it how it is? Have
Yeah,
I
well-
abused it? No, I know what has to be done and I do it in a timely fashion. I don't see where the issue is.
I don't see where the issue is either.
But then why this?
Because we're trying to get something, a semblance of some kind of organization here. And that was the first place we could cut without hurting anybody's feelings, because Kathy's not here anymore.
Oh, 'cause I don't-
And Nicole,
Doesn't matter to
Marilyn, you don't care about what?
You said you weren't hurting anybody's feelings, so does it matter to me? Just let me work 2 days and
I didn't say that you're gonna work 2 days. I don't know.
take it however you want.
It's
Well, you're not
it's in
taking it the
writing.
way I'm telling you that it means. So you do whatever you feel you need to do, Nicole. I'm mean, every meeting, it seems like you've got something to say about one of us not doing what we want, what you wanna do. So
No,
if there's a problem with,
this has to deal with me directly, so I'm addressing it.
okay, well, let's get a motion on the floor. Are you done with your motion, or do you wanna,
That wasn't a motion.
okay, well, what is it you wanna say next?
I want to entertain a motion to put the table this till next month.
Okay, do we have a support for that?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye by roll call, please.
Sue,
Oh, to table it?
Yes.
table it till next month.
I don't even want it next month.
Well, we could,
So, no, and not as long as it reads like that. It is saying that she only does these so many hours a day, so many days. Unless she gets this or that, it's not very clear. So I say no to the whole thing.
So no to tabling it?
I don't want it, if it's
Well, the way
tabled
this-
or
You're getting
voted
it,
on
no.
today.
You can't make up the new
I'm just against
rules.
it.
Just,
the way this is written, I don't like that you got in here that you're gonna cut the treasurer's wages either.
No,
I mean, that needs to be discussed, we just can't cut from 28 to 12, is that what this says?
no,
What does it say?
no,
25 to 12.
no.
it says 12.
Well,
But did you
12
want
is,
to table it for
if-
further discussion?
that's what you said, right?
Well, he said to table, but you mean for further
First, there's a
discussion.
discussion.
So it wouldn't be this, we
We
would
need-
be discussing it.
We need to discuss how this is written and what's in it, and how it's written.
Okay, now, do you understand his motion? Do you still want to vote?
If it's gonna be rewritten, then I'm for tabling it,
Okay.
but
then
not
that's-
as it is.
But you're saying that you will table this until we discuss it
Yes.
further? That's what his motion is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. So you're yes, yes, Mary Agnes?
Yes,
Mary, yes.
okay. Motion carried. All right, what are we doing here next? Okay, there's a request for an update on the asset management plan proposal for Cottrellville's township water system by Cottrellville Engineer, Project Control Engineering, and the amount of the bid was $13,300. There's questions and answers that were attached for your review. I asked Chris Hiltman, he's the one in the other mask back there, the masked man. I wanted him here to answer any questions that you may have about what this is all about and why we need to have this. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I'll make a couple statements on it. Earlier last year, we wrote a grant through SEMCOG to try to get some funding to basically put all our assets together. When I say assets, it's all of our water stop boxes, our manholes, our gate valves, hydrants, all the things out in the system that we need to know where they're at to operate. When we came in to Cottrellville Township, the records were very scattered. There wasn't a lot of records on basically stop boxes, like home stop boxes or nothing. When you had your SAW grant, Huron Consultants located most of your manholes and your piping and did the camera work and everything. So anyway, we wrote a grant last year. We got $10,000 from SEMCOG to go towards doing this. We've used up that $10,000. So this next 13,000, I think it's 13,300, would be to complete everything. So all of your assets would be inventoried at that time, which means everything would be GIS. There's another, I don't know if it's the next item, agenda item on there for the silversmith. Is that on the agenda tonight too, I'm assuming?
I didn't have anything. Did you send me that?
I thought I did.
No, this is the only thing that I questioned you on, and
That's fine. That'll be the next part that we'll talk about next time. There's you got an invoice for Esri,
yes?
and the silversmith that I'm talking about basically takes everything that has been GIS located up till now, and then if we do approve this, it'll be everything will be put into the GIS system, The silversmith is basically the thing that brings everything together. It brings all those assets into a manageable form. We use a tablet. Everything will be on that tablet, every home address with the stop box, every gate valve, every sewer manhole, all the piping, all the video, any inspection work that we do on there will all be logged into that software, and it'll all be able to be maintained. So whenever the next group comes in or whatever happens, you'll have all that data collected. You'll know where everything is. You'll know the condition it's in. This process is more than just that. The township is required to complete asset management for your water and sewer. Your sewer was done through the SAW grant. Your water we've been putting together, but this will complete that part of it. So that this will get all of our assets, in one spot, so that we can set replacement times and stuff like that. So that all will factor into budgeting and factor into rate setting and stuff like that. So this is basically the groundwork. This is where we have to start. We have to know what assets we have and then be able to do condition assessment and that stuff with it, so.
Okay, let me back up for a minute. This Ezra thing that I showed you, we had, that they wanted $3,000 for maintenance, you said that we didn't have to pay that. Now, this silver thing that you're referring to, is that, how much is that gonna cost us?
Yeah, so what the Esri was is that was set up through your SAW grant. That, Esri is basically, it's the GIS software
Okay.
that you use, and all the assets are put into that software. There's a yearly maintenance agreement. It was $3,000 or just over $3,000, and that's a yearly maintenance agreement. The silversmith that I'm talking about will take in all of the assets, because currently all you have in that program is just your sewer manhole stuff.
Okay,
The silversmith will take everything.
water and sewer.
Yeah, I run this software in 2 other communities, and it depends on how big your system is. Like New Baltimore, they can put their trees in there, all their storm sewer. I mean, any asset you have can go in there. So there is a yearly maintenance on that, and it's $1,000 for Cottrellville Township.
Oh,
So
So
it's
it's a
cheaper
savings.
than running the Esri stuff. It's more inclusive and it's user friendly. It can be on a tablet. I have it on my phone. I can look up all the assets in any of the communities. I can, if there's we have to locate, we do mistake, we have to locate a stop box. I can pull it up, know right where it is. You have pictures, it's endless really. So that's the other portion of what we're talking about.
all right, now that $1,000 is per year, and that'll be from
Yeah,
now on?
That's the maintenance agreement, yeah.
Okay.
That gets rid of the $3,000 when we.
Yeah, that basically, that's the, Silversmith is one software, Esri's another one. Esri is, everybody uses it, so it's good stuff. But it's more for engineering and stuff like that, like for the layperson like us, the guys that are using it in the field. The Silversmith is more of the hands-on. We can put anything in there that we want to. Like a water main break, if we have a water main break, I hate saying that because we'll probably have one tonight. If we have a water main break, we can go to the water main break. They'll have a GPS device. We can GIS the water main break. We can take pictures of it, descriptions, everything we did there. So we'll have history of all the breaks, everything that's going on in the system. Like I said, it's a really good foundation, and it'll leave a legacy. So whenever somebody else comes in or whatever happens, there's something for them to use to work with. Because right now it's sort of us trying to collect data. So I guess what's in front of you right now is that last portion of.
The first 10,000 did what now, Chris?
First $10,000 we already used up, and that was free money. That was grant money. We thought we were going to be able to get more money for grant, but unfortunately too many people knew about this. I took some of the money in another township too, so it's kind of my fault. But if there would have been less people, they only had a pool of money, so they ended up divvying out what they did. We tried to ask them for the whole thing. We did ask for the whole thing, but because so many people wanted to utilize the grant, we were awarded $10,000. So we've used that up. So
Have we started any, that has nothing to do with the smoking that's.
smoke testing? Nope, they tried. I don't say they tried. They've had us scheduled twice. Tomorrow was supposed to be the second date. I called them off because of the storm. When we get all this rain, it basically floods the system, so it's counterproductive. Like we can't see where these breaks are. So right after our last meeting, we had all that wet weather. That was when we were going to start. So we're just timing it. We want to make sure we do it at the right time. We don't want to waste our money. So.
Our original SAW grant, do they take that information and include it in
Yep.
this, so it would have been more money yet?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because all the the sewer assets that they located, we have all that information, all that data is already ours, all the points are ours, are all stored in the Esri, in that software, the GIS software. We've already taken that, and we've taken all those points, so we own that data, that's already ours. PCE has that data, and it's ready to be populated into the next thing too.
So it was already converted over, huh?
So
Yeah.
Okay.
that data, say I come in here and say I need looking for a sewer tap for 7468 Dixie Highway, or M29, whatever, River Road, that data would show that tap?
Sewer taps are gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be in that paperwork, and it'll be laid out. They're a little different than water taps, just because of water taps, we have stop boxes, and those are located, there's a point that's located. When they did your SAW grant, they shot camera work and they videoed everything, so they have a distance. If there was one that we didn't have a record for here, we didn't have a Y sheet or something for, then we could go back to that data, and we could see what the measurement was, and we could go find it if there's a spot that was
Because
in question.
I'm just going back 15, 20 years ago, you didn't come in and get a Y sheet. You come in and talk to Joe, and Joe would call Mr.
Somebody would
Delude.
winch it, and they would
Yeah.
find it.
Tell you, once you got through Mr. Delude and Joe, you had a guesstimate about something that may be somewhere.
Yeah.
But we,
And that's what we're trying to, that's what I'm trying to eliminate, because coming in blind to a system, it's a little tough when you don't really know how things were laid out, because I was used to different type of record keeping, and even the stuff we were doing was just really old, we would draw pictures. Well, now, everything's on a tablet, everything's on my phone, it's readily available, and it's easily handed off, I guess, is what I wanted to say, is that once it's done, it's yours, and it'll be accessible to anybody, so. We did budget this year to do this work. That was part of what we were talking about finishing up. Like I said, we had hoped to get all the money through a grant. The other thing this does is it helps us, I hate to keep answering, but it helps us when we go to write other grants or when we go look for funding, because pretty soon, as I just said before, we're gonna be looking for money for sewer upgrades.
yeah,
So
placements.
having a good asset management program and showing that you know where all your stuff is, and you're maintaining where all your stuff is, and you know how old your stuff is, it'll help towards, hopefully grant money, that's where we want to go first, but then securing.
Now, is this for sewer and water then?
Yeah, this is basically to finish up the water. Most of the sewer, like I said, was done through the SAW grant. Whatever was not done through the SAW grant, we used the first portion of the grant to finish up sewer, and then we went into water, used up whatever leftover money we had, and then now this is where we're sitting at. We're short $13,300 to finish water.
So this money would be coming out of the general fund then?
No, this money will be
No,
coming out of water.
Out of his one.
Water fund, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that include the 1,000, or that's a separate for the silver?
No, I'm sorry that I must not have sent that over to you. The silversmith is something different. The silversmith, I think it's 5,800 total for startup, and what that is that's them bringing in the information. It's the device, the handheld device, and the tablet, and a year's data for the tablet. We'll just end up putting that data plan on with our sewer lift stations, so it'll just be having like another station. And then it's a yearly $1,000 after that. So, without having the paperwork in front of you, I don't want.
Yeah, don't quote if you don't know for sure.
Let me get you the paperwork. I'm sorry, I wish,
That's all
I'll
right.
do that over to you.
Ship it over to me in the morning, because we're probably gonna have to have another meeting here soon too, so. Does everyone have any other questions of Chris?
I got two.
Yep.
Oh,
Could you call me when you're doing the smoke testing, because I'm curious?
Yeah, for sure.
And boy, that's a nice looking mask you got. Where'd you get that?
I came unprepared, so we'd have to be quick. Today's been sort of hectic, so. And here's just so you know, there's a tree down on Shortcut. Right?
Yeah.
yeah,
I
Susie
called
told
Mike
us.
from the county, so he should be there probably within a minute or so, and cut it off, but.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All right, so if
it's a
there's no
big
other
tree.
questions, I need a motion, I'd like to entertain a motion to accept this bid from PCE in the amount of $13,300 to complete the services to be rendered for the water, it will clean up the water system.
I'll second that.
Okay, I guess I'll need the motion then.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
sounded like you were making a motion.
No, that's
Well,
okay,
you
that's fine.
entertained that. I'll get confused.
That's all right, and we have a second. All in
Okay.
favor signify by saying aye, please, unless there's more questions. Any more questions? Okay, we'll take a vote then. Roll call vote, please.
Sue,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes?
Sherry, yes,
Okay,
is absent.
motion carried. All right, so this first bill I'm gonna get is gonna be $5,800, is that what you're saying? Or,
The silversmith portion of it, that'll be the next phase that I come.
okay, so is that already been ordered, or?
No,
Okay,
it's.
and how long does it take to get?
I mean, as soon as it's right there, so.
Okay, so,
So next month we'll have that one in front of us.
Yeah, at your next meeting, whatever your next meeting is, I'll make sure you have it. I have the quote, I
Okay.
have everything ready to go.
all right, that's good. Okay, the next item is number 5 in the F. Request for a refund of an issuance of an electrical permit number 200009 to Supreme Electric Service LLC in the amount of $125 for a job at 7725 Marsh Road. And the job was canceled by the homeowner, and then COVID came in, and he just wants to be reimbursed.
I'll
So-
make a motion to reimburse that.
I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Nays? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, now we're back to number 6 as new business. We want to set up the workshop and the public hearing to approve the budget for the year that before all this COVID happened. We can either do it 2 ways. We can have it at the 30 minutes before the regular meeting on July 8th, which is our regular board meeting for July, or we can set up a workshop and a public hearing on a standalone special meeting, and that can be either July 1st, July 2nd, or Wednesday the 15th, which would get us past the meeting, the regular meeting on the 8th. It's your choice.
Oh, well, I think if we have to be here on the 8th, we might just well come 30 minutes early.
Okay? Anybody else feel that way?
Absolutely.
Okay, is that in the form of a motion there?
That's a motion.
And that's a second?
Absolutely.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. All right, we also have a opening on the planning commission that I would like to fill with Stefano Quesady. He was previously on the planning commission for many years, and then the state changed the rules and said that if you were an employee of the township, you couldn't be on the planning commission. So there was a couple of us that were removed, and he would like to get back on. I gave you a copy of his letter. That was some of the work that he's done, and he has worked also on Parks and Rec with us. So if you don't find any fault with him, I'd like to ask you to approve him as a new member of the planning commission, please. And I need a second.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to approve and appoint Mr. Stefano Quesady as a new member of the planning commission. He will begin the very next meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye. Roll call vote, please.
Sue,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes,
Sherry, yes.
motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, I don't think I have any announcements. Is there anybody else got any announcements? If not, we'll I'm sorry? Somebody say something?
Was this just for us to look at, or? were we
Yeah,
gonna
that's
discuss
what she
this
brought
at
us to, that's what she was pointing out about
Oh,
the revenue
That
sharing.
was just for your information.
all? Okay, I didn't know if we were gonna discuss it at all.
No.
Okay.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please, at 8:25. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
You said that was 8:25.
Some air.